Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this April 23rd, 2022. It's being brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors and WSR Insurance Services Incorporated. Well, over the last couple of weeks, it certainly has been rough for parts of the northern plains and northern Rockies, a double-edged sword. Badly needed precipitation, but having to deal with winter storms that's been very hard on ranchers with young and weak livestock. And again, here we are for the second week in a row talking about another blizzard. Another blizzard is going to be going through this weekend for parts of the northern Rockies and northern plains. Eastern Montana, southern Montana, the central and northern parts of Wyoming, western South Dakota, and many areas of North Dakota. Once again, another hard-hitting blizzard. Now, there will be fabulous amounts of moisture with this system, and it's not as cold as the last storm system. But nonetheless, it's going to be stressful on young and weak and newborn livestock in those areas I just mentioned this weekend, with the storm then heading into southern Canada by later in the weekend and early next week. So it's a double-edged sword like the last one. Needed moisture, badly needed moisture, but it's going to come in the form of a harsh winter storm. The pattern is basically repeating itself. We are going to have moderating temperatures this upcoming week. Folks will catch a break. We'll see some warmer temperatures returning. We do see another storm system. Yes, another possible western storm system by next weekend. There's a lot of question marks on its track, so we're not terribly confident on where the next storm will go. We certainly continue to have severe dryness along and south of Interstate 80 and along and south of Interstate 70, I-40, those areas of Colorado, New Mexico, West Texas, West Oklahoma, western Kansas, western Nebraska, parts of eastern Wyoming. Those areas continue to miss these storms. And I think for another week, that's how it's going to go as well. And you can see where the precipitation over the last week has fallen. The California area, the Pacific Northwest, has done really well in this area here. We've seen a really nice increase in the western snowpack over the last week to 10 days. But you can see the continued dryness in this area here, and this area here will continue to suffer from the dryness. And you can see that in the precipitation anomalies here, where the driest conditions relative to average continues to be in the central and southern plains. You can see the blue and the green here in parts of California, the Pacific Northwest, and a few dots of green into the Rockies, where we've seen that boost in snowpack. The drought monitor has shown some slight improvements here. We'll show you that here in a minute. I think the next drought monitor will show even more improvements in this area right here. Due to the stormy weather that's going through those areas, I think we're going to see improvements here in California as well. The area we're continuing to be most concerned about is here, where we still don't see a wet pattern, at least for another week in those areas, other than a few widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Here's where the drought conditions have improved over the last week. In North Dakota, parts of Montana, then here's some green here in parts of California and the Pacific Northwest. But those yellow patches show where dryness continues to be exacerbated in a lot of areas in the western high plains and Rockies. Now, this is what we're looking at for this weekend. A deep storm over South Dakota and western Nebraska. By this weekend, this will bring blizzard conditions to that Montana, North Dakota, western South Dakota, northern half of Wyoming areas, and then this storm will lift this way up into southern Canada later in the week. High winds on the back side of this storm for along and south of I-40, I-25, I-70 in Colorado, down into New Mexico along I-40 and I-25. Just more wind, which leads to more dryness. So the rich keep getting richer. The wetness continues up here. The dryness, though, continues down here. Next week, here comes another system off the Pacific and tracking through the northern plains and northern Rockies. Could there be another storm next weekend in the Dakotas? Maybe. Something that we'll need to keep an eye on. Certainly livestock interest in the Dakotas, Montana, parts of Wyoming have really kind of had it rough with these winter storms, and there might be another one that bears watching. But we're not 100% sure yet. That's why we've got the question mark right here on whether or not it will form. We're hoping it takes a more southerly track to help out Colorado, New Mexico, western Kansas, western Oklahoma, and Texas. We'll see what happens with the next system. The 7-day outlook for precipitation really shows that heavy precipitation focusing on those northern areas and into the northern and central Rockies, and a continued wedge of dryness. While it is showing some showers and thunderstorms in this area here, it's not enough to really help. Snowfall-wise, that's the blizzard we're talking about. This arch of heavy snow in this area here and across the northern Rockies. The season for the snowpack to grow is still there, and we're certainly going to see that with this next storm. Temperatures over the next week continue to be coldest over the snowy areas of southern Canada, eastern Montana, western North Dakota. Really cold here relative to average. But you can see in this area that's dry, it's going to be warmer than average. But the rest of the lower 48 states, for the next week to 10 days, overall, it's going to be rather cool, at least compared to the 30-year averages. Our next update will be the 30th. Have a good week ahead. And for you folks up in the northern plains and northern Rockies, hope you can get through the weekend okay.